Eala falls to Ekaterina Alexandrova in Abu Dhabi Open quarterfinals. Eala's singles run at the Abu Dhabi Open came to an end after she fell to Ekaterina Alexandrova 6-3, 6-3 in the quarterfinals on Thursday. The 20-year-old Filipina had previously defeated Zeynep Sonmez 6-4, 6-3 and Aleksandra Sasnovich 2-6, 6-4, 7-6, 5 in the first two rounds. In the second set of the quarterfinal match, Alexandrova built an early 3-1 lead, which Eala briefly erased to tie the set. The world number 11, however, used her experience to close out the match. Eala will still compete in the doubles tournament alongside Janice Tien, starting with the quarterfinals. Following her Abu Dhabi campaign, Eala is set to continue her Middle East swing at the Qatar Open. This year alone, Eala reached the semis of the ASB Classic and made a first-round exit in the Australian Open. Eala vs Alicia Parks, Australian Open 1 of 10. Tennis, Australian Open, Melbourne Park, Melbourne, Australia, January 19, 2026. Philippines. Eala in action during her first-round match against Alicia Parks of the US Reuters/Edgar Su. Eala vs Alicia Parks, Australian Open 2 of 10. Tennis, Australian Open January 19, 2026. Philippines. Eala signs autographs for fans after losing her first-round match against Alicia Parks of the US Reuters/Edgar Su. Eala vs Alicia Parks, Australian Open 3 of 10. Australian Open Melbourne Park, Melbourne, Australia, January 19, 2026. Alicia Parks of the US shakes hands with Philippines' Eala after winning her first-round match. Reuters/Edgar Su. Advertisement. Eala vs Alicia Parks, Australian Open 4 of 10. Australian Open Melbourne Park, Melbourne, Australia, January 19, 2026. Fans of Philippines' Eala in the stands during her first-round match against Alicia Parks of the US Reuters/Edgar Su. Eala vs Alicia Parks, Australian Open 5 of 10. Tennis, Australian Open, Melbourne Park, Melbourne, Australia, January 19, 2026. Philippines. Eala reacts during her first-round match against Alicia Parks of the US Reuters/Edgar Su. Eala vs Alicia Parks, Australian Open 6 of 10. Tennis, Australian Open, Melbourne Park, Melbourne, Australia, January 19, 2026. Philippines. Eala in action during her first-round match against Alicia Parks of the US Reuters/Edgar Su. Advertisement. Eala vs Alicia Parks, Australian Open 7 of 10. Tennis, Australian Open, Melbourne Park, Melbourne, Australia, January 19, 2026. Philippines. Eala in action during her first-round match against Alicia Parks of the US Reuters/Edgar Su. Eala vs Alicia Parks, Australian Open 8 of 10. Tennis, Australian Open, Melbourne Park, Melbourne, Australia, January 19, 2026. Philippines. Eala reacts during her first-round match against Alicia Parks of the US Reuters/Edgar Su. Eala vs Alicia Parks, Australian Open 9 of 10. Tennis, Australian Open, Melbourne Park, Melbourne, Australia, January 19, 2026. Philippines. Eala in action during her first-round match against Alicia Parks of the US Reuters/Edgar Su. Advertisement. Eala vs Alicia Parks, Australian Open 10 of 10. Tennis, Australian Open, Melbourne Park, Melbourne, Australia, January 19, 2026. Philippines. Eala in action during her first-round match against Alicia Parks of the US Reuters/Edgar Su. Related galleries. Eala at the Jingshan Tennis Open and Suzhou Open WTA 125. Eala vs Maya joint at the Eastbourne Open Finals. Eala and Maya joint at the Eastbourne Open. Eala vs Maya joint at the Eastbourne Open Finals. In the Philippine Women's Open, she reached the quarterfinals where she fell to eventual champion Camila Osorio. Eala Philippine Women's Open 1 of 5. Eala reacts after a point against Japan's Himeno Sakitsum during their women's singles at the Philippine Women's Open in Manila on January 28, 2026. Photo by Ted Aljaib/FP. Alex Eala at the Philippine Women's Open 2026-2-5. Alex Eala at the Philippine Women's Open. Photo, Philippine Women's Open. Alex Eala at the Philippine Women's Open 2026-3-5. Alex Eala at the Philippine Women's Open. Photo, Philippine Women's Open. Advertisement. Alex Eala at the Philippine Women's Open 4-5. January 26, 2026. Philippine Women's Open. Alex Eala. Photo, Philippine Women's Open. Alex Eala at the Philippine Women's Open 2026-5-5. Photo, Philippine Women's Open. Related galleries. Alex Eala at the Jingshan Tennis Open and Suzhou Open WTA 125. Alex Eala vs Maya Joint at the Eastbourne Open Finals. Alex Eala vs Maya Joint at the Eastbourne Open Finals. Alex Eala and Maya Joint at the Eastbourne Open. JKC, GMA Integrated News. Tags, Alex Eala, Ekaterina Alexandrova, Abu Dhabi Open. Need a wellness break? Sign up for the Boost. Stay up to date with the latest health and wellness reads. Sign up. More videos. The Rising Tide and the Steep Cliff, Alex Eala's Abu Dhabi Odyssey. In the desert jewel of the 2026 Mubadala Abu Dhabi Open, under the radiant floodlights and amid the roar of passionate tennis fans from around the globe, Alex Eala's remarkable run came to a dramatic crossroads. One moment she was a rising young star, the next, facing a seasoned world-class opponent who reminded everyone why ranks and experience matter. In the quarter-final clash against Russia's Ekaterina Alexandrova, Eala's inspiring journey reached a new height and a humbling lesson, all within the space of a competitive evening under the Arabian night sky. A young star on a big stage. At just 20 years old, Alex Eala has quickly become one of tennis's most compelling stories. Already ranked among the top 50 in the world, an achievement many dreamed of but few reach at so young an age, she carried a blend of fierce determination and youthful exuberance into the Abu Dhabi Open. For Filipinos and tennis fans across Southeast Asia, she represents more than a competitor. She is a symbol of possibility, resilience, and reflection of a region hungry for success on the world stage. Her journey to the quarterfinals was far from easy. In the earlier rounds of the WTA 500 event, Eala showcased not only her skill but her fighting spirit. She started solidly with straight sets wins, but it was her round of 16 match against Alexandra Sasnovich that captured the hearts of fans and defined her tournament narrative. The comeback that electrified a crowd. Sasnovich, a veteran from Belarus, gave Eala everything she could handle. Dropping the first set, 2-6, many assumed it was the beginning of the end. But tennis, like life, thrives on unpredictability. Eala dug deep. In the second set, she found a rhythm that changed the momentum, leveling the match and forcing a deciding third. The deciding set quickly tilted against her. Sasnovich surged to a 4-0 lead, and at 5-2, even held match point. It would have been the end for many. Not for Eala. With a fearless forehand and tenacity that seemed almost supernatural, she clawed back, game by game. The crowd, a sea of voices and flags under the night sky, lifted her spirit as if fueling her swings directly. In a crescendo of rallies, emotion, and sheer will, she forced a tiebreak and won it, 7-6-5. It was a victory of heart as much as skill, a moment deserving of standing ovations. In the words of one reporter, the atmosphere erupted in celebration as Eala produced one of the most thrilling comeback wins of her young career.